I appreciate you being with me this morning or this afternoon, evening, wherever you are. I'm Christine Owens with BayWa RE Solar Systems, and this is our first time trying this out. We, in our company, do a lot of work around health, business health, physical health, and also just kind of mental and emotional health. For me personally, it's great to work at a place where that's something we spend time talking about and want to care about how employees are doing, kind of psychologically, not just how they're producing in their work. And it seems especially timely given everything that's going on in the world. So since we do these kinds of activities internally, we thought it'd be a great idea to just open it up. And I know we have quite a few external people joining today too, which I really appreciate. And we will be doing this every Friday morning after this for at least the month of April. We'll have a different person each week kind of be the presenter. I volunteered actually to do this first one. It's a good way to be mindful myself, to share a little context for people who don't know me very well. I tend to be a busy person. I travel a lot usually. I was a single mom of 2 kids, one who has autism, this being Autism Awareness Month. So I'm used to like a really intense schedule kind of my whole life. And a few years back, before I even joined BayWa, I really felt, a little bit out of balance and felt like I needed to be more present. And so I put a little more effort into this idea of mindfulness and meditation and trying to find ways for that to help me achieve a better emotional health in my own life. And then when I joined BayWa, it was perfect because it is something that we put a lot of time and energy into internally. Our CEO, BayWa Sofer, who some of you know and have seen, really has a passion for how to care about people in the work context, in the business context. And so it's been a great place for me to keep further developing, my own sense of mindfulness activities, and so forth. That said, I have no professional training whatsoever, and so definitely feeling a little nervous this morning, but wanted to still jump in and be the leader for this first session, because I think it's great to share with people that this isn't something that came naturally to me. It's not something I ever had a lot of training in, but it's something we can all do. Yoga and other things I think are also very accessible, but it maybe feels like you need to know a little bit about what you're doing. But when it comes down to when we talk about just a mindfulness practice, at its core, it's really just being present, breathing, and turning inward, and connecting with yourself, really. So I think it's something that any of us could tap into. And so my hope today is to just share with you a couple mindful exercises that I've gotten a little more familiar with over the last couple of years, and to share them with you. Hopefully you'll find it helpful. And I'm looking at my clock because I want to set my timer so that I'm sure to end on time. So with that, I'm going to actually start off with just a little breathing and then a little just kind of movement and guided meditation from there. You should feel free to just kind of make yourself comfortable, either just kind of an easy gaze or even close your eyes and just listen to my voice as we go through, whatever's comfortable for you. What I'm going to start off with is just a few breathing exercises to just kind of settle in. And I have found that it's pretty simple and it's yet so helpful, especially when things are crazy. If you can find just a few moments to remind yourself to breathe, it's so powerful. And something I really didn't appreciate myself until just a few years ago. So let's start with just a few really big, deep breaths with a big exhale. And as you're doing this, think about pulling your stomach in towards your spine, like bring your belly button to your spine. And when you exhale, actually be thinking about contracting it even further back to your spine. Give those lungs a little bit of a workout. It's very appropriate in these days. Great. And remind yourself to do that throughout the day. Another breathing exercise I'm going to share quickly is, and one that I find really useful, and it's a little weird if people are watching you do it, but I'm going to let you guys watch me do it anyway, is this idea of one nostril breathing. And it's another thing just as far as trying to reset your body and your nervous system. This is something that works really well if you've never tried it before. And the way it works is you're going to use your finger and thumb. And I did wash my hands right before I started this call. So if you haven't, feel free to take a quick break. But and yes, so we are touching our face. And if you don't think you should, then skip this. But it's a matter of breathing in on one side for about a 4 count, and then out the other side. And then you just do that a few times. So I'm going to do it 4 more times. And once you've done that, maybe about 5 times or 10 times, doing one direction, you switch and use your other hand and do the same thing, but switching in and out nostrils. So we're going to do 5 in the reverse. Okay, I actually lost count myself. I think that was 5. It's a lot of pressure on this, and I was getting distracted with my whiny dog, who you're probably all hearing also. Obviously wants to get attention instead of let us have some quiet, mindful time. Anyway, just two thoughts there on breathing. And the next part of what I wanted to spend time on, and like I said, in the future sessions of this, we'll have different people host, and they'll share with you things that work for them. But I'm actually going to put my computer over here, and I'm going to stand up. And I encourage you to stand up if you're in a place where you can, if you're able to stand. Otherwise, I think you can still listen to this guided kind of meditation thoughts, even if you're seated. So yeah, so I'm going to press my timer too, so I keep track. And I'm going to actually kind of settle in and close my eyes as well to be as present in my own body as possible, and just kind of settling in. The first thing that I'm thinking about is thinking about how I'm connected to the earth. And so in my case, I'm standing in shoes on a floor on the 2nd floor of my house. And so I'm going to visualize how my floor is connected to the rest of the house, eventually to the foundation of the house. And underneath that is the ground. And so thinking about how through all of that, feeling grounded, actually thinking about feeling the earth beneath my feet instead of all this house structure between me and the earth. And just feeling that bond, that gravity, almost letting my shoulders hang a little heavy and feeling really connected, like almost trying to sense the center of the earth below the dirt, and this sense of being very solid, that there's this very strong ground for me to stand on, and how much stability I can feel when I feel that connection to the earth, when I'm equally weighted between both my feet, and thinking about my feet and gravity holding me to this planet that we live on, that's rotating and spinning around the sun. There's so much movement, but it's not present at all right in this moment where I'm feeling really connected to to the sense of sturdiness. And without losing that, letting my feet continue to feel almost glued, like cemented to the ground below me, to the floor, which is connected to the ground below me. I'm going to also now think a little bit about lightening it up and like, how do I stay connected there? But also there's so much more around me. And so I'm going to actually stretch my arms up. And you can do this even if you're seated. You can still be kind of stretching your arms, lifting your shoulders up towards your ears, and getting a sense of, no matter how far up those clouds are, that your fingertips at the very top through your roof or wherever you are can actually be connected into the air, into the atmosphere. And that you can really try to focus and think about how you can be so grounded and so light at the same time. Just breathing your regular breath and focusing on a sensation of groundedness and lightness simultaneously. And we're just going to sit for a few minutes quietly, focusing in on those feelings and thoughts. Your arms and shoulders are starting to feel a strain at all, feel free to relax your arms down, but then still be thinking in your head how the very top of your skull is still connected up into the air and into the atmosphere, and that your head can still be feeling light even while your feet are feeling cemented on the ground. If you haven't already relaxed your arms and brought them down, you can do that now and release that grip that your feet have into the floor. And just stretch your body however you feel might be helpful after that exercise. Put my glasses back on. And yeah, those are the things that I had in mind to share with you all today. I really appreciate everyone joining in. I think what I'm going to do is close with, there's two things that we do pretty regularly within BayWa. And there are things I was not exposed to before I had joined. There are things I learned from Boaz. And I'm going to share those with you before I wrap up. And as I said, big disclaimer that I'm a complete amateur at this and just wanted to be vulnerable and share. And I think it's an important time for us to, breathe, take time out, realize that we all have all the capabilities we need to get centered and present and mindful. It doesn't take special training. That said, in the weeks ahead, we will have people who are a lot more, frankly, experienced and probably a lot better at this than I am. But still, I'm happy that you joined me today and we're able to kick things off in these Friday mindfulness sessions. So the two things I'm going to close out with, and for people who are internal to BayWa, these will be familiar, is a threefold breath, and then I'm going to talk about a 4-line check-in. So as a threefold breath, this is going to be 2 deep breaths, similar to the ones we did at the beginning, but all the way in and all the way out, actually through my nose both times. And on the third breath, I'm going to bring it in like I was before, my belly button close to my spine, and then I'm going to hold it for almost as, kind of as long as I can, and then I'm going to exhale that third breath really slowly. So I'm going to demonstrate that, and I hope you all join in doing it with me. So the first one. And the third we hold. And that's just one more in addition to those first two breathing exercises. That's another breathing exercise that's great just because it can change the path of kind of your normal breath and help you reset your nervous system. This last thing I'm going to close out with is called a 4-line check-in. And we do this actually at the start of some of our team meetings. And it's something you can just do with yourself, which I've been doing it more and more recently. And I've been doing it actually quite a bit the last 2 or so years since I joined BayWa, and Bo has taught me this. So it's a really good technique. I actually have taught it to my family now too, and we also do it from time to time together. And it's a great way to center yourself and get into that present mindset. And so the objective is not to think too hard about it and to just really pull the words out that are very present and in the moment. It doesn't matter how you were feeling even 20 minutes ago or how you were feeling an hour ago or yesterday. It's just right now. What are the words that describe? And the order is in your body, in your heart, in your mind, and in your spirit. So it goes like this. In my body, I am feeling relaxed. In my heart, I am feeling love. In my mind, I'm feeling busy. And in my spirit, I feel grateful. And aho is what we say at the end, so someone knows you're done, and then they would go. So I'm going to keep the recording going for another minute or two in case you want to do a 4-line check-in with yourself. And we can all stay connected while you each do that if you would like to. Again, it was body, heart, mind, and spirit. Okay, and with that 4-line check-in as our finale, I'm going to wrap us up for today. Thank you again for taking time out to be mindful with me this morning. I really appreciate this connection with each of you, and we hope you'll continue to join. I have a feeling there'll be people who have even more interesting activities and things from a mindful perspective to share in the future weeks. So we'll have a new person each week leading this. Thank you again for joining me today, and I hope you're all healthy and well, and that you remember to breathe. Thanks. Bye.